Welcome back. Over the past week, we've seen rallies held here in Hawaii in support of Ukraine. Some residents have close ties to that country.
Many may not know that Hawaii's connection to Ukraine actually dates back more than 100 years. KITV4's Marissa Yamane joins us now live to explain. Marissa.
Mika and Rick, Hawaii's a melting pot of different cultures. A lot of us trace our heritage back to the plantation era. The sugar industry brought in waves of immigrants, including a group of Ukrainians.
The sugar industry on the Big Island is long gone, but some of the buildings from the past remain. This is where you'll now find the Honoka'a Heritage Center.
It definitely was a plantation community, so we're surrounded by plantations here.
While most of the plantation workers in Hawaii were immigrants from China, Japan, Portugal, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines, there were also some from Ukraine, with the first wave arriving in 1897 and 1898. About 600 people in all, according to historians.
And they landed on Oahu and were dispersed after a few days to different plantations around the islands. They were told that they were going to have a better salary here, that they'd get to homestead, they'd actually have land to farm on, and wonderful weather, and everything would be a paradise here. Once they got here, it wasn't the case.
Some ended up working on plantations on the Big Island, as described in the book Hawaiian Ordeal.
The first group in 1897 signed 3-year contracts. The second group were 5-year contracts, and they wanted out right away. The conditions were not what they thought, and they wanted to leave, but it was illegal to leave them. Once they signed their contract, they were here. So many of them at the end of the contract left. They went to the mainland or went to continental U.S. or to Canada, which was the preferred choice. Ones that stayed actually homesteaded down in the Ola'a Mountain View area. And there was a Ukrainian settlement.
In fact, there's a road in Mountain View named after one of the Ukrainian immigrants.
In 1906, Michael Pazik and his wife Anna, who both came here as young teens with their families, purchased for $250 50 acres and started clearing the land, clearing the forest. It's all forested in that area, cleared it, and built a trail out to Volcano.
The Honoka'a Heritage Center did a Facebook post on this several days ago.
The response to our small Facebook post has reached over 100,000 people, including people in Ukraine. I think it's a unifying thing to see this kind of a history and see that we're all connected somehow, and people are paying attention to these world events and concerned.
Now, there's not a lot of information about Ukrainians in Hawaii during the plantation era. The Honoka'a Heritage Center is hoping their descendants will contact them to share more stories and even photos to help preserve that piece of history. Marissa Yamane, KITV4 Island News.